has come out, to saying that he is not against restructuring, as some persons and some quarters want to believe. But he's saying that foundation for you to jump into a restructuring. And if you recall, Wole Soyinka, in delivering a speech at one of the major newspapers, convenings right there, he's made a conversation talking about matters of concern restructuring, and it says that restructuring, if ever there was a time better for restructuring, that time would be now. I'm going to give you a little bit of clip, into all of that, but then it also brings to bear proper foundation, very process of going on that protest. As the likes of the TUC had said, they are not aware that the NLC boycotted them totally. Some civil society organizations too have also cried foul at the way the NLC had, pushed for that protest. And it also the likes of the NANS had also said the same thing, saying that it was almost too sudden for the NLC to jump at that, and that there was supposed to be a round table, conversation right there. But that also goes on to the place where the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Idris Mohammed, had said, that the whole idea, for the protest was not for the government to disrupt any, protest. It says we are not about disrupting it. The whole idea is to ensure that everybody was safe, and even the police, at some point had also mentioned to the NLC that, look, we don't want a situation where activities and businesses will come to a halt because of your strike, right? Your protest. So, and they've come out to telling the NLC that, and they said they don't want a situation whereby some unscrupulous human personalities would want to hijack that process. But then the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, who's a senior advocate of Nigeria, had also earlier reminded the unionists that there was an existing court injunction restraining them from embarking on any protest or rally. That's talking about the industrial court right there. But it was also assured that the government would not use force to recruit hoodlums to attack protesters, just as he faulted, some planned rally, describing it as unpatriotic. Now, that's not even where I want us to really look at, right? There was something he said that I felt it was very necessary, right? Now, he explained that the federal government was doing everything possible to ease the economic crunch and arrest the free fall of the naira, right? And he also goes on to the fact that to confirming the fact that the government met with state governors and private sector players, including business mogul, the likes of Aliko Dangote, the likes of the group executive officer at Oando PLC, the likes of Wale Tinubu, talking about chairman of Harris Holding, right, and Transcorp PLC, Tony Elumelu, and chairman of Bua Group, Abdul Samad, Rabiu, at a crucial stakeholders meeting at the State House in Abuja, and that was on Sunday evening, right? Now, all of these, if you look at it, very critically, you might also want to look at the fact that are these, steps, are these the foundation that the president, had mentioned that he was gonna, take if we must get into a restructuring? Are these the things that he said? Is it that we're just not being we're not being patient enough? I mean, he has made it clear that he is only 9 months old. Is just 9 months older. Some would even say that he's already 10 months older, but he's saying, no, I'm not 10 months old yet. I'm just 9 months old, and so I shouldn't be held, ransom somewhat, about, some of these issues right there. And then in one of, the speech of the president, while addressing labor union issues and matters that concern the pressure groups and matters arising in the country, he had come out as saying that the labor unions are not the only pressure group speaking for the people. So NLC should somewhat, while it's getting out there and claiming that it is pushing for the rights of the people right there, should not forget that it is not the only, one, to speak truth to government and governance, right? But let's just very quickly get on to what Professor Wole Soyinka had to say, about the entire process when it comes to the fact that we all need some levels of he calls it decentralization. He said is not very comfortable with that notion of restructuring, as many people would want to call it right there. Yeah, it says it's decentralization, and that's what works for him. Let's hear it for Wole Soyinka right there, as he makes his conversation pretty clear and known on the matter. Right.
Restructuring is bruited around. We often hear the challenge, hey, what do you mean by restructuring? Well, I don't even like the word restructuring. I prefer the expressions like reconfiguration, decentralization. Everybody can grasp that. Decentralization. And those who lead us, they recognize the necessity of it. They recognize the importance, almost the inevitability of it, until they get in power. Yes, that's the difference. Until they get in power. Deconstruction, reconfiguration, decentralization, all this is necessary in order to maximize development. We speak about food hunger because it is real, but palliatives are temporary stopgap policies. They do not reach to the heart of the problem, which is one of decentralized development as massively as possible.
All right, then that's what the professor right there, Professor Wole Soyinka, has got to say in that regard. But the president is coming out to saying that, look, you cannot just go about saying that you want to restructure the country if you're not beginning to look at, issues of setting a foundation, setting an agenda for restructuring. That you don't just go about doing that would not hold. That you've got to have a very basic foundation for it. That is what would allow for a good restructuring right there. He has also gone on to saying that, look, the Nigerian situation is somewhat volatile, and it calls for some awakening, and we cannot just get about all of that. Yeah, because Soyinka had actually argued that if Tinubu did not restructure, even economic policies will fall. It says infrastructure and transformation will fail, and it says we'll be going back, threading the same old spur, right? And of course, these are the issues right there. But then, all of these being put together, all of these being said, there are some thoughts as well, where the president had come out to speaking to the labor right there, saying, look, hey, you are not the only pressure group that is, has constitutional backing to want to look at matters that concern the people. There are other pressure groups, so labor, you should calm down just a little bit. I'll be bringing that to your eardrums in a very short bit, and so that you also have a feel of what exactly it is that the president said there. Okay, I'm trying to pull that up, but it's not coming in, as handy as I thought it should. But then all of these, I want us to just, look at the week in review, because there are some, pointers that says that we need to set the agenda for proper restructuring in Nigeria. Do you agree with the president right there coming out to saying that there is a need to set a proper agenda, proper, foundation for restructuring? But while others like the Soyinkas are saying that, look, go straight to the point. There's no need to come up and say that you are setting up any agenda, you're setting up any foundation. The foundation is already in the Nigerian state. So get go ahead with it. Pull all the resources that you need to pull together and get this restructuring done. And then there has also been some talks, of course, on the headlines today, where some say that the confab, in fact, was a thing of the past, and if we must get it rightly, we should look at the Orasanya report very critically before implementing any of such. But then others is because the time at which the Orasanya report was pulled together is not the same time as now. But the question will still border around the fact that whether or not the times are the same, the question would be, are the issues that are being discussed in it still the same? Do we still find it? Do we still have a high cost of governance right there? Do we still have agencies in multiplicity, right, having the same functions as another, and somewhat at some point they become almost disorganized, almost clueless as to what their real task is all about? And then you have all these agencies sucking up from the governments and from, of course, the proffers, the coffers of the government, and then through the taxpayers' monies, and it's quite heavy on us. But then even at that, we still have the country saying that we are poor, we are bleeding, we don't have nothing, we're bleeding, but then we're able to afford cars for persons in high authority, right, in millions of naira. And then there is this talk about purchasing Nigeria, buying into Nigeria and everything. But then these cars that we're even talking about, were they even from any brand of manufacturer in Nigeria? These questions beg for understanding. How then do we set the foundation for a restructuring if we don't even begin to show it in our attitude, body language, and even though our speech says one thing, it seems as though the action is not saying the same thing. And so it makes it brings to bear some levels of confusion amongst the minds, or within the minds of those who would have been critical thinkers, as to where are we going as a country. It's the Week in Review, and this is the news, a New Eagles outlook right there. I'd like to know your thoughts on some of these, especially with the president coming out to saying that the labor should be cautious because they are not the only groups or pressure groups that could speak to governance, and they should not claim to speak for the people. I mean, the NLC has also been under fire, as some have said that the NLC doesn't seem serious in its approach. But then you'd like to also give some kudos to them, because where others stepped out, we don't know what would have transpired between the NLC, the TUCs, and other bodies right there, for the NLC to say that I am going head on and headlong with this issue, and we're going all out to protest. Some have faulted the process of the protest, while others are saying that it is a step in the right direction and all of that. But do you think all of these things that we've outlined are able to indeed bring about the change and cause Nigeria to get to a point where we say, indeed, we need to get a restructuring, we need to look back, we need to decentralize, because there's so much power at the center, so that the states will also be able to oversee in high effectiveness what it means to have a true federalist system of governance right there. Well, you can hit me up and let me know your thoughts about this, about the president's saying that he's not against restructuring, but then there should be foundations, there are things that he needs to put in place, and these things are very necessary if we must get it rightly. 0907 353 0044 is that number to call. The other number is 0908 766 8888. The WhatsApp portal number is 0909 705 4450. And you should also know the fact that the vice president and the president of Shatima had come out to saying that, look, there is need to, while trying to inaugurate there's something that has to do with the power. I'll look into that very quickly and bring it to you. But while trying to, by being a part of that, he had said that the southeastern, states are like the Jews of Nigeria, that you cannot take them out of the equation, that they have to be a part of the success story, even though there has been some talk about the southeastern states owing big debts, in terms of power and all of that. He's saying, and there have been calls for them to be cut out, from the entire power grid right there. But he says that he is not assenting to such, because the southeastern parts of Nigeria, if they got it rightly, that every other part of Nigeria will be healed. Hello, good morning.
Good morning once again, Yudi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
My name is Abubakar, calling you from Gwagwalada.
All right, Abubakar, welcome aboard.
What we are witnessing as a country is abuses of institutions, of our institution, abuses of our laws, our policies. We lack framework. We lack leaders with objectivity, with a clear mind for development. It is about personal aggrandizement. They grab power to amass wealth. So anything goes in Nigeria. We have countries some countries are politically neutral. They are neither communist nor capitalist, and they are making giant strides. They are achieving economic achievement, developmental achievement. But in Nigeria, it's caricature. It's too much chaos. That is why a country that's richly endowed as Nigeria, we have been plunged into economic mess, into debt boarding. They borrow money, they looted the resources, they never share the gains of development, gains of the borrowing, but they shifted the burden of the borrowing on the poor masses. It's uncalled for. Even if you restructure Nigeria, if the operation will be the same crops of the Nigerian politicians, nothing will change. We need a positive change, a sincere, genuine leaders in whatever form. It is, what do you call them? Politicians are not the only ruling class. We have the academicians, we have pressure groups, we have even among the militaries, genuine nationalists. They are everywhere. So we need a sincere change.
Okay.
We want the trap to catch this monkey. The monkey will chop our banana. Enough is enough. Don't chop the whole banana.
All right, enough is enough, he says right there. Don't chop the whole banana. At least leave some banana right there, so that the generation to come will still have something to munch on as a foundation. Hello, good morning, SMS. Keep the calls coming through though. 0907-353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. What exactly does Nigeria need? Is it a restructuring, or is it a decentralization like Professor Wole Soyinka is saying there? Or is it for us to calm down, to put the towels in its rightful places, and to ensuring that we have something from which the restructuring can emanate from? Let's get this one. Hello, good morning.
Thank you, and it's Obasanjo from Amali.
All right, Obasanjo, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Abubakar, man of the moment, man of his word, man of all time that he spoke. You go to research. Everybody went to research. Where Abubakar usually bring out this. Why? Because where the country that is happening is happening. Daniel, let me ask you, for you being a Nigerian, what will you proud of? That you are proud to be in Nigeria, and if you go outside Niger, Mali, Cotonou, Ghana, and other small countries in Africa, what will you be proud of that Nigeria can do this? I'm asking you, Daniel.
Obasanjo, can you just let us know what you have to say, so that we just go straight to the point, okay?
No.
What are you proud of? You should tell us. I am proud of a lot of things, but what are you proud of?
Son, I am not proud. I am only proud of God make me to be a Nigerian, but I am not proud of Nigerian.
Wow.
Number one, why?
Okay.
Because what do I mean as a citizen that I can produce on my own? I can produce a brush that you tooth your teeth. Can I, as a citizen, or as a student, or as a professor, or as a doctorate, that this is what you are proud of? Nigeria can produce a toothbrush, can produce a lot of things. I'm not talking that in the other countries has been developed on those things, but we only dependent from the foreign countries, only dependent for almost how many years that the country has been given independence, but we're still independent under the European Union. We cannot produce anything. The education is failed, electricity, the power is failed, the agriculture is failed, the other things, the other ministries, all are failed. But all our books that we read in the university today, from primary school to university level, are from those people that written them. They are from Greek, London. You can hear them, Britain. What are we on? Daniel, these are the big questions to ask. All we're proud to be corrupt people in the country. Corrupt people that you can go out and proud of.
Okay.
We are corrupt. In any realm, we are corrupt.
All right, Obasanjo, I get that. I guess emotions running high right there. I used to say it. I mean, the program allows for you to express yourself, but then sometimes when your emotions go so high, you need to be able to, call it caution. Well, anyways, the point is, as much as you've raised some serious fact, Obasanjo right there raised some very serious fact, but then does it mean that we're incapacitated to be able to make some of these things, to produce on our own? What exactly then is the problem? Is it because we don't know how to, or because there is some feeling that the process is sabotaged enough, or that is good enough to allow for us certain records straight, maybe in terms of infrastructure, in terms of policy, in terms of the economy, a lot of stuff, but then we still have some contrary views right there, as Shoinka is saying, no, all of these things is already prevalent in the society, in the country, right? So we're not saying we don't know that these things are prevalent, but the moment you show the will to get around to decentralize so that the power is distributed evenly, to the states, then maybe we can begin to see some levels of productivity. I still want to know what you think right there. 0907-353-0044. That is the number to call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Dan.
Yes,
good morning, my brother in the studio.
Good morning to you.
A man of peace again. Take us to the peace. Our peace. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
God bless you. I greet everybody. I greet everybody. I call them my daddy. I want to ask. Did you just want to ask? Is it me say we cannot produce anything in our country, Nigeria? We allow anything we want to do. We go bring that, we go carry and go outside country. They put that for us. Why we cannot learn for them? What do they break up for us? So that may our people go there, go and learn. Why are we putting up? You couldn't know to know they say Nigeria they produce car and we are happy. Now come on, so to speak, we cannot do it for Abuja here, we cannot do it for Nigeria. But they are calling us we are giants of Africa. I think you get people now where they have this knowledge to produce anything where they put for us. Why we cannot bring these people together, we unite ourselves together. First of all, when we love ourselves first, not the states what they can produce for Nigeria. So that we cannot carry our money when we're supposed to develop our own place. We go develop another country. It will not happen like that. Now, thank God we have produced this for Nigeria here. I thank God for it. What of all these things, Gary, now I will see produce that protocol. The answer say no. Now we check ourselves. For my village now, we know what we're capable to do. For Igbo now, they know what they're capable to do. For Hausa, they know what they can. When we know we unite ourselves together, we know we can do better. We do it with the produce of our Nigeria. Why are we still go outside country, go the port, everything, common water with the port, common mineral with the port, everything source with the port? Why is it still outside? Why they not give everybody open way to do what you want to do for Nigeria? And they ask,
all right.
This is what they born me. I not see what Nigeria they produce. But may different language join themselves together. May they produce where they can people to we have a knowledge people. Youth where they can people to do something. I see one young girl, even though this light now when they take the suffer. One small boy, just a far. Light is there for everywhere. But for here now, we cannot do. They know they give the access to do what they want to. And you go to say the senator. Say our parents, that's why see our hospital, our hospital cannot work. That's why our doctor, they are moving, go outside country. Go through their time, they carry them as the best doctor. But for here where we get, they don't take care of them. They just leave them like that because we know body what we get. That's why this thing they happen for us. But if we take president now, please may listen for us. Anything where common man can do, may give them chance to do. We can't people to do it. Not everything we go to talk things. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
All right. Thank you, BB. Blessing right there. Raise some serious points right there. What exactly are we producing? What is it that we are able to do? Have we been given ourselves the opportunity to ensuring that we're able to put one or twos together to ensuring that the entrepreneurs and those who have decided to jump into the MSMEs would have the right support that they deserve to put things together? If you ask me, though, there's some school of thought believe that there is a brain drain going on, right? Some school of thought also believe that enabling environment has not been created indeed. Some people believe that the cost of production in the country is also very high, and that the tax, system is also one that is almost so how do I put it now? It's so gaggy. It gags anyone who's trying to, get into production. And that's something that probably the government should really look into, to ensuring that they promote entrepreneurship and allow for the agencies that would allow or offer programs and schemes that empower entrepreneurs, maybe startups and small businesses, to help them overcome, some challenges and succeed in the various sectors. And that by offering, these resources, some of those such resources would entail maybe loans and funding. Kind of some sort of regularization of activities, maybe workshops, mentorship, and skill development. All of these are what I think the Nigerian state needs to really look into. And I know that there's been the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency, that's the SMEDAN, the Bank of Industry too is just one of it. And you might also want to consider the National Information Technology Development Agency, that is the NITA, the Nigerian Exports Promotion Council, NEPC, Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. All of these are supposed to help to ensure that young manufacturers, entrepreneurs, are given the assistance they need. But then, aren't we just saying the same thing? Is it still taking us back to the fact that we need an overhaul in terms of restructuring? But the president says he is not very, very keen about that. What he is keen about is the fact that there needs to be some foundation being laid before restructuring gets into the picture. Hello.
My brother, good morning.
Good morning to you.
The same president was among those that are clamoring for restructuring during good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Their slogan then is that they will restructure Nigeria. That is how they convince many Nigerians and they grab power. And since APC grab power, they are talking about restructuring, they are declining. And it's the people that brought the slogan of restructuring the country. So many things they promised Nigerians they will do then. And that's how they buy the minds of Nigeria. And Nigeria were able to vote out good luck and brought in Buhari. For 8 years of Buhari, nothing on ground. Now Tinubu is there again, and they're telling him about structuring instead of the boot structure on ground. This is a man who told you that 9 months is too short for him to be judged. So when will the structure be put on ground? And when will it be manifested? So for me, there's something I observe about Nigeria, and that's why it's like they're not making headway. We don't screen now people that will lead us. We don't screen them. If we only believe in money bags, I have the highest money to spend during an election. will vote them in. Now, if we're telling people, look, in this 21st century, if we need to get it right, we should allow those that are industrialists, employee of laborers, those that have made a lot of impact in the growth of this country, those that have contributed one way or the other. We need to assess them. How many companies, how many industries did this man that are vying for office of president, how many did they have? How many people has he employed? These are the things we need to assess. Not only that this person has money, but possibly this person is not corrupt. What does he have? Because many of these our leaders have benefited from Nigeria. Nigerians have favored them. What did they give to Nigeria in return that will make them our president? These are the things we need to be putting on table. Not anywhere a man comes because he has deep pockets, we allow him in. And when he get there, all he needs to do is recover the money he spent during and after election. And he will tell his story here and there, blame fowl, blame cockroach, blame goat. At the end of the day, before you could say Jack, 4 years has already elapsed. And you come back and tell Nigeria that 4 years is too small for me to achieve the plans I have for you. I should be given another opportunity. And before you say Jack, we stay the whole 8 years. Other developing countries think out of the box on every minute and every second.
Right.
Every person that is coming on board is thinking, what will I offer my people? What legacy will I leave on ground? How will our country compete with other countries? When this Kenya-born American president, Obama, when he came, he realized that their Ford company is no longer selling, and he called all the technocrats together and said, why are Ford company, their vehicle are not competing in international markets? They said because vehicle were produced very big and the fuel consumption is of high level. From the side they made, Obama said, okay, fine, we're going to make our Ford cars fuel economical. We're going to do it on model size. Today, Ford vehicle is competing in international markets.
Right.
And is making a lot of foreign exchange for them. This is a president that is thinking out of the box. Not a man who will come and start blaming one person or the other. You need to put something on ground. You get that right. So for me, until when Nigerian is able to scream their president, I know what this man has. Not a man who have money, and you don't have the source of his money, and you don't even have a company that are employed up to 1,000 Nigerians. When you bring such a man in the aim of affair, what offer you? Nothing. You busy running health care. Another problem we have is that you fail to fix the right people in the right positions. So we'll give ministerial appointment, we'll give the Minister of Education to somebody that don't even know anything about education.
Right.
And he was taking the whole 4 years to learn before I could say Jack. He wasted the whole effort. So for me, we should always screen those that will head us and know what they have. What they have offered.
Right. Very well, thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Right, proper screening right there. He says you've got to do the screening, you've got to do the work, and not just look at the bag or the money bags. You should look at integrity. You look at the person's antecedents right there, and then that should be the basis for having a rights society. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Is this Prince Ike?
Moses.
Yes. What's your name, please?
Moses.
Oh, Moses. Okay, Moses. All right.
I think I thought to the last caller, the most challenge we have in this most of that very big statement. It's a big statement, and that's the challenge of the people. People who might have that idea during election, they may not have that money that they have. Okay, because these people in the leadership position in this country, they didn't believe that people vote for them. You know that they believe that it was their money that they used to influence the masses. They believe that is what got them to that position. Dan, you think that if you contest in even gubernatorial company in the state, things to offer financially, would they vote for you? They are loaded with ideas. You have the passion for your state. Am I communicating? And you don't have that financial backup. You think that I want to win the government in that country? It won't. It won't. So these people have already made money. They have made money from this recycling. Our leadership in this country like recycling. Somebody has been a governor, from governor from senate to be looking for another big position to be a head of state. That is the challenge we have. So these people don't have the heart for the masses. And I'm sorry to say this. Most of us are regretting to what we use our hands to commit. Now look at when the primaries were going on. Look at that. We were giving dollars. Somebody who voted for somebody to become a flag bearer, he came up on news that the money they gave him, he has never received such money in his life. And he took that money to his own community to develop some small community before he now, because he was giving money to vote for a flag bearer, for a candidate for a flag bearer, to give such a big, huge amount in dollars. Now, he didn't look at the competence of the man, what he's going to offer. He didn't look at that. He need to change his mind, because he was giving a huge amount for him to vote for the person there. So, we are suffering for the consequences of what most of our hands have committed. That is why I commend during that period that giving out money to be voted for a position, is that not the highest order of corruption? Did you help me to see what I'm saying? For somebody to be a flag bearer, that is the foundation, right? And these people will go to any length to get this money to give to the masses to vote for them. Must you give money to vote for them if you have something to offer? And if these people come there, they are coming there not to serve the masses, but to recover what they have stolen. So that is why, Dan, we are facing what we are facing today. The issue of corruption.
Okay.
We started from the grassroots. If that issue is not been addressed, we will always have this problem.
Okay.
Because most of these people that are coming here, they don't come here for the heartbeat of the nation.
Yeah.
To serve their nation.
Okay.
Then finally, this is my tears. Anything that happens in this country, their man is not here. They have their children, their wives, they have them over there. Medical care, they don't believe in our own here, they believe outside. Their houses are over there. Some of their assets are over there. Excuse me, how will you damage your home and put another home in order? Those people over there, they have concern for their country before they put all these amenities there. The good news I had this morning was in this East that the 24-hour non-stop electricity that they are celebrating. That also is a good development and it's a good news. The government has been pumping a lot of money to this our electricity power, and up to date we cannot enjoy 24-hour power. And every day, every year you begin to hear carry increase without dividends on the ground.
All right.
So why not government go to these people and get them? Why is this thing not working out? We have been pumping money to the powers. Why is it not working? If the state can do it and work out, why is it that federal government cannot do it for it to work? So we have a lot of challenge in our time.
You might want to put a wrap on it now, so that Did you hear me? Okay, it's out. Well, quite a lot of stuff, quite a lot of, angles there that he put out there. And seriously, quite a number of questions will come out. Many people see the statements, of the erudite Prof. Wole Soyinka as being somewhat ironical. In fact, they say is talking too much English, and that's not what we need right now. That is long grammar. At some point he was one of those who had raised marched for in past administrations right there, saying one thing and then doing another. Now that right now he's out there just having more like a comfy tea party kind of situation, and you're just giving a speech when you're supposed to do much more than that. But then it beats my imagination. How much more should he do? I mean, nobody wants a chaotic state. Nobody wants the state of Nigeria to turn into an anarchy. So we can speak truth to governance and do the most that we can, and look forward to a brighter side. But then let's take this call, and then I'll take a couple of your messages. Hello.
Good morning, my dear brother, Ojak.
Yes, please. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Alami. I'm from Guarimpa.
Yes.
First of all, let me wish my Muslim brothers and sisters Juma Mubarak. And as always, I pray the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our supplications and that of the Baba and grant our nation Nigeria peace and progress. On Professor Wale Soyinka reacted, Ojak, you must, correct me if I'm wrong. The protest and the talking that everybody, where people come out and want to, seems to, give a more informed and a neutral perspective by acknowledging that the current administration inherits a very bad economy. People want to blackmail you with the rhetoric like, or you protest in the North administration. The protesters, did they shut down Nigeria when Jonathan was just 9 months old in office? Jonathan spent over 5 years, more than 5.5 years when that protest took place. But a president that has just taken office in less than a year, roughly 6 months, is already working more than 30 protests. I think the agenda is very clear. Nobody say you shouldn't protest. But if somebody was for more than 6.5 years, and then at the tail end of his administration, if there was nothing to show that there was an improvement or good governance in place, and concerned citizens, rise up and say, look, we cannot have it. Remember, it was when he was seeking re-election that the protest took place.
Right.
So it's because of that. Somebody is coming out and saying, look, the country that Tinubu inherited was a very bad one, and it's not something that can be worked over, and it's just with the maximum and transform overnight. And you're coming out to say they protested. But if you protest when you want to not please. I think that the protest is therefore responsibility. I think we should not be protesting. It is.
Hello.
Let us continue to protest. I'm not giving time to fix the country. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, even though at some point, in your discourse, we were not able to, get what you had to say, but then the point was very clear, right? The president is just 9 months old, and the president has also said it. You may not like the way that he says it or in the manner that he says it, but he has said it. And if you were to think about it, you might want to consider that too as well, 9 months old. But then that is on the one hand. You might also want to look at the foregoings. What really is the situation, right? During this time, one that you can, place side by side or juxtapose with that of the administration that you made mention of, that's talking about the Jonathan administration. Yeah, is the situation the same? Nigerians are crying of hardship. For a labor, the NLC to come out to saying that they are not having a protest for minimum wage, that's not what they're doing this time. That they are having a protest for hunger, for hardship. I don't think that even though there's been other protests, in past administration, I don't think that has been the focal point, right? It might have been maybe increase the minimum wage or increase staff salary. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think that there has ever been a protest that has hunger, hardship. That's its theme, and that's what the NLC says. That look, this protest is not about minimum wage. It's about the hardship. It's about the fact that we see the downtrodden. We see the pain. We see the horror. Of what is happening to our brothers and our sisters. If you're able to live through this, this period, and you're still smiling with maybe two square meal, I think you should really be grateful. I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm just, you should be grateful. It's a general conversation now. Yeah. But if you are not able, and you see some persons who go days without food, without monies, maybe then you'll understand. But then it's just a matter of looking at it critically. Truthfully, on the one hand, the president is saying I'm still 9 months old, and he has the right to say that, and it's very logical. But then the circumstances surrounding these 9 months, okay, it's already something else, right? Okay, let's take this one. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you.
Daniel, am I supposed to call back to you? It's about.
Sorry?
It's about Obasanjo.
All right, Obasanjo, you might want to make it very quick.
Developed countries. This is the way he made that statement. That is the way they came out. The whole of the country will come out. Resign. By that statement of 9 months, 9 months, one day got from me and you.
Hello? Well, that's not very clear, Obasanjo. I didn't quite get from the very beginning of what you said right there. You might want to call back, or better still, send a message via the WhatsApp portal number, which is 0909705445. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning to you. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's such a happy new month. I don't go happy new month. Happy new month.
Happy new month to you, BB.
Sir, you what people they are saying, they move. Now I really call this hardship where they now. So many people they don't have their cars. So many people they cannot even see Gary is now. Why we not say we just at this 9 months now where it's just that. Because when they carry 9 months, you can see how that thing will be now for now. See, let me tell you something. If our president go listen to us, we are not putting blame for his head. See what he do, no start. We say, okay, look at it. They promise us bus. They say by this time we go see bus. Bus will be coming to carry passenger. Up to now, my brother, the bus come.
They say they're still putting modalities together.
Thank you. So maybe if it can be before it come down, everything will be. No problem. We are not blaming you, say, my offer. Now, the other former president, my offer, if they call the water, the way it costs. Bag of rice, how much now? When the time of Buhari, how much for bag of rice? I see them now, how much? But you may be before it come down, everything will be okay. We'll not do drama.
Okay, no problem. BB Blessing right there calling back to saying that I'm not blaming my president. He's still my president. But the thing is, the fuel subsidy removal was just a very big mistake. If we can get back to it, bringing back, subsidy and all of that might just bring the change. Well, I've got this message via the WhatsApp portal number. This one says, good morning, presenter. Good morning to you. It says, this is Mr. Uche from Abuja. Uche, welcome aboard. Says, listening to Prof. Shrinka trying to confuse and contradict himself in his well-known views on restructuring shows how inconsistent he is. Suddenly, the advocate and progenitor of Save Nigeria Group is finding it difficult aligning his thoughts with the current situation. Why didn't he speak out against the subsidy removal the way he did during the Jonathan administration? People like Shrinka should not be taken seriously because they speak from both sides of their mouth, depending on who is on the saddle. Okay, that would be from, okay, I think, let me get that straight right there. A little bit of conflicting messages right there, but okay, I'll just get on this one. It says, Mr. Daniel says, I hope some people are not taking advantage of, to run down the country. Okay, I get that. Forgetting that they are part of the problem. If you don't see anything good in your country, you can go out of the country and stop inciting. All right, God bless Nigeria right there. Well, that is it. If you don't think that the country is good enough for you, you might as well want to get on to a country where it was cited as an example, Venezuela. And trust me, when I got into seeing what exactly is about Venezuela right there, I'm grateful for Nigeria, indeed. But that doesn't mean that we should rest on our oars and say that, oh, because we have not gotten to that point, we can actually do what we want and we will not take seriously, the fact that there needs to be some reawakening, and as some quarters are calling out for it to be restructuring, others are saying it's decentralization, according to the erudite professor right there. Whatever it may be, we should not rest on our oars, and that is what everybody is talking about. But then, that being said, I should also let you in on the fact that some reactions from Nigerians as not really being on the same page with the prophet himself. In as much as one person gets on to saying that I'm in support of this, power needs to be decentralized so that each region and by extension state governments can have more control over her resources and who has access to them. The indigenes of these states will also be forced to hold their governors, senators, local government, chairmen accountable instead of migrating to states that are better governed directly, given free passes to repeated failed state governments. Now, it has been the message about devolution of power to subnationals also ensure some levels of conversionism, right? But whatever that may be, sometimes it is also believed that we don't look at the person who sends a message, we look at the efficacy of the message. What does Nigeria really need at this time? Is it the restructuring? Is that what's going to be the answer to all of our challenges, as the prophet said? Or is it the fact that, as the president says, give me some more time, it's only 9 months, I'm only 9 months old and I'm doing the best that I could, to bring about this change. And trust me, I'm putting everything that I have to do into place. You might go through a little bit of pain, but just a little more time and you'd see the dividends of some of these things that I've put together, and it is for the betterment of the country. Which is it? And the president also said that before you restructure, that he's not in a hurry. He would not be pushed under pressure to go on to do restructuring, that we do not understand the total term of restructuring, that it has to do with building a solid foundation. It is after you've done that, putting certain things in place, setting some things in motion, before you're able to now say that I'm able to restructure and set the country on a pedestal towards success. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My brother, I laugh too much for
Okay,
this very man.
You might want to go straight to the point. You just got 10 seconds, please.
Yes. No, straight to the point is that you can't tell me incompetence does not have any schools. Incompetence does not have any schools. That's my point. Yaradua came into power. Within a month, he brings down fuel price down. And Yaradua, within a short period of time, up to today, Yaradua remains a role model. So APC has been in power for 8 years. This man is part of the government of APC. So what are you telling me? 9 months. You can do better.
All
if
right.
you are not competent, you can't do it. So
Okay.
let's just
Okay.
forget about it.
All right.
This man is incompetent.
Okay, that's very, very, very off it. Well, I'm just it's so disappointing sometimes, the fact that we are so very quick to saying certain things, and it shows us the character that some of us have. And it tells us from the way that we put our comments out there that if we were put in the same place as the president, we'll do worse. I mean, you don't come out to say things like that. But that being said, it will not be tolerated anymore, right? But thank you for each and every one of you who've come out to say in your mind the way that it is, without actually destroying character, but addressing the situation. You are indeed the patriots. You are indeed the success of Nigeria. And I'm also adding my